will give you 15 minutes, then members will ask you a few questions. I'm not cutting you out because I know that quite a number of your views resonate with what has been given to us so far. So please, madam, take 15 minutes.
Thank you very much. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Felista Abdallah. I am a Kenyan woman. I am an activist, I am a feminist, I am a human rights defender, and I am a woman living with HIV. I work for the Kenya Sex Workers Alliance as the national coordinator because I am a sex worker here in Kenya. The reason why we decided to become a part and parcel of the End Femicide movement, it's because femicide and violence has become a part and parcel of our work. Day in, day out. There was a time in Kenya, from 2010 to 2018, 1 or 2 sex workers were murdered every day. A surety of me as a woman and as a mother to go back to my children safe and alive was not assured. It is either I had a dent or I was no longer breathing. And when End Femicide came out, I remember in 2010 we did a very big march. And these were the environs where the sex workers marched in and said, we are not foreigners. The women that you name and shame, we are here now, we have become ourselves, and we want to tell you this is what we do. We are not forced into our work. We are sex workers by choice. And we joined the movement of the End Femicide KE. All the time a woman is murdered in Kenya, they are being named and shamed by our work. And that is what is silencing women not to speak. Every time women are facing GBV, the first thing that they call them and they name them is our work. What were you doing in an Airbnb? Why were you there? Why should you do this? The second thing that people do is term our work as ungodly, uncultured work. And these are most of the reasons why women are not coming out like me to speak and say, this is who I am, this is what I do by choice, and this is what is making me an income in this country. I'm not the only person who does that. We are so many sex workers in this country. I came with a colleague, her name is Caroline Joroge. She will match here because I only have 15 minutes. Caroline Joroge was born and raised in the streets of Nairobi. Luthuli Avenue, if you know it very well. Those are our famous streets. Some of us, that's where we start most of the time. Carol's mother was a sex worker like me. She was murdered by a client in a room, cold-blooded. They cut off her head, they opened her stomach, the breasts were open, one breast was here, one leg was there, and all the intestines were out. Carol came from playing outside because all the time a client would come, for those sex workers who are living in the hotspots, they will send their children to go and play so that they can finish with the client, then the child will come back later. When Carol was walking back, because the time had gone and the mother had not come to call her, the only thing she found was blood that was all over that room. And she didn't know what to do because she was young. So when I came to Nairobi, Carol became my friend because I met her on the streets. She's the one who introduced me in the streets of Nairobi, where to sell, how to charge, where am I safe, where am I not safe. But she had anger issues. Carol was always mad at every little thing she sees, shouting, screaming, until I came to know the backstory. I know I also have my own issues. Everybody has issues. And that's when I came to understand. Carol grew up on those streets because none of the family members could take a child of a sex worker in their house. Because one, they didn't want a taboo. Number two, this is a child who is not raised well. Number three, and all those reasons. It's not that Carol doesn't have relatives. She has. But she became independent in the streets of Nairobi. And that's how Carol became a sex worker also, because she had nowhere to go. That's the only environment she knew as a child. I'm saying this is because, number one, the reason why we are facing GBV and all these things, it's because of the criminalization term that is put on my work. Number three, it's because of people's understanding. When you hear sex work, you only see sex, of which sex is one of the things that made all of us here in this room. Number three, I want to give you an example of a driver. I use a part of my body to earn an income. I do not steal. Just like the way a driver is using their hands to drive a car, I use a part of my body to earn an income. I am not taking anyone's rights away. As a woman who is living with HIV, my number one person to protect is my client when I am at work. I make sure protective measures are there and everything. But also the client has their own time to do that. We have become an easy target. Remember Onyansha killed more than 50 sex workers and the case was in court and that's how he was let go free. There was a case in Nakuru where a murderer was got into the scene dumping a body of a sex worker. We have never succeeded in any case in court. Any person, any perpetrator who has perpetrated or killed a sex worker, they have never been taken to there is no justice for our community. I want you to know that I am a woman from this country. I want you to know that I chose to be who I am. I want you to know that if my work is not criminalized, then I can earn well. And I contribute to the economy of this country day in, day out. Because I belong to this nationality, I have an ID, so that means I vote. All we are asking for is for safety and security when we are at work. We want to work in a safer environment, just like any other people. The same way we did not question why you chose your work, why should you question me at the same time? If the environment is safe, I want to assure you my work is work. And this is the reason why I'm standing here like any other women and confirming to the document that you are given that as sex workers we contributed to it because it speaks to us as women. And what we do not want is femicide and violence in our work. Thank you.
Come there, tell us something.
Good afternoon. I am Caroline Jologen and I am a Kenyan citizen, a sex worker who lives in this country, and I am a survivor of GBV, SGBV, and a victim survivor of femicide. That at a very young age, 26 years ago, my mother was butchered by a client who was a regular client, and that is how my whole life changed. And since for the 26 years, there was no justice that was served. The perpetrator was arrested on the scene with a murder weapon, never charged. The sentence was changed into manslaughter, and the whole evidence was there. No witnesses, no nothing. Yet everybody knew who was the suspect. Today, Rogers Mosalo is walking free, while my mother is lying on the grave because there is no justice for sex workers when they are murdered. When we face GBV, I have been perpetrated so many times. I have been arrested so many times. And even in the municipal court, I am the first sex worker who has been given a pardon at the municipal court because of the many arrests that I have faced in the municipal hands while I was living in this Nairobi. But there is no justice when you are a sex worker and you are a woman. The legal environment does not support women who are selling sex and does not protect survivors of GBV or SGBV.
Thank you very much, Felista and Caro. If there are questions from the panel, from the group, Mheshimiwa, and be brief.
And Felista, I want to emphasize on what you're saying, criminalizing the issue of sex. For example, I want to put across the media how it has been perpetrating the media people here. Every time they are giving us the report on the femicide, even if you are not a sexual worker, so that's the work they do. For example, and I will keep on giving, for example, with my daughter, because and I want the Kenyans to understand exactly what we are saying. We feel it, and I know that how Carol feels watching the mother on the grave. That's how I feel when I see the grave of my daughter. Yet the perpetrator is walking free. They report like this. They report that the daughter, a girl was caught in a room, killed by maybe an ex-lover, a lover, or anybody. Whereas I know my daughter was not killed by a lover, but the whole story wants to be they want to turn around sexuality. Even if you are killed on the road as a woman, they still want to put a sexuality on it, so that they have already blinded Kenyans to understand every girl who is killed was killed because she was using her sexual whatever to be killed. So the media itself is a perpetrator and are still keeping on saying this. They don't understand the work of a sexual worker. That is what she does. Even if you are not a sexual worker, they report that my daughter, all the stories were in the Nation. I still have the whatever, the Nation newspaper. An ex-lover, a lover, or somebody you are in love. Since when are we going to come out from this and say feminism is not about love, it's not about sex. It's somebody who wants to kill out of drug, whatever he wants to take his drug, and understand femicide in another dynamic. When are we going to stop sexualizing women out of their own body or how they were created? That is where we are running away from. We must discuss these issues as what we are doing, as other women are saying. Anyway,
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Can we have Honorable Chebi? Please, be brief.
Thank you very much. I congratulate you two ladies for your courage to speak up. I believe you should include the men. They are also sex workers. How come it's only the women who are called sex workers? You are not having sex alone as a man. You should be included in the sex work.
Okay. Edna, please, Honorable Edna.
Thank you. You've given me an honorable position. I think.
You are very honorable in the eyes of the listener.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. I think part of I've just looked at some of the work that we are supposed to do, and I have seen something that says that we need to consider some of the cases. I've had a lot of cases being mentioned here by this team and the team before that. Probably my ask would be from them if there are some that they would be comfortable to share with us, not now, later on, that then we can consider and see patterns of what has been happening, if we are able then to do something that is a bit more concrete. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Honorable Tu?
Yeah, I thank the presenter. You say you told us your status. And yeah, I thank the presenter. You told us your status and the way you protect your clients. Please tell the others to protect them when you know your status, so that we won't lose many Kenyans, because you are beautiful ladies and there are handsome men outside there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mashesu, please.
Yeah, thank you for the very honest and well presented kind of ideas to us. What I just want to get it clear from you that your recommendation is that sex work should be decriminalized because it leads to femicide and other forms of violence against women. That's the clear recommendation to us. Thank you. I just wanted to get it clearly from you. Okay.
All right. Felista, are you do you have an organization, a national organization of sex workers, and how many are you?
Yes. As I'm standing here, this is the national network of sex workers. It is called the Kenya Sex Workers Alliance, famously known as KICC. We have 75 member groups in the whole country. Sometimes people want to know, in terms of numbers, how many are you? In terms of numbers of the people that have registered to the sex workers-led organization directly, we are over 800,000. Yes, what is our recommendation? We are recommending the criminalization of sex work. I have been a sex worker for more than 20 years. And somebody asked me, why sex work? Why not something else? And I said, why not sex work? Why something else? Because other works are good works and people are earning from them. But my work is good and I'm earning from it. And for me, it is working better. One of the jokes I always make is selling tomato is work, but sex work pays better for me. Male sex workers, yes, we don't call them male sex workers, we call them clients. In every business or any work, there is a client. The men who are coming to get our services from us, we call them clients, and we protect our clients at any length. Any length, because they have come to us confidently, seeking for a service that they want to get in a private way, and that's how we want to keep it. When men and other women are coming to support us, we cannot name who is the client and who is not. But for as long as we are a supporter of a sex worker, that's all that we need. We do not need to name and shame people. Review and consider some cases, yes, that will be very helpful, especially from our movement. We have sex workers-led organizations in each and every county. In Nairobi, we have bar hostess, group ambassadors, Nakuru smart ladies, all over the country, Kiambu, Kisumu, Mombasa, we have organizations for sex workers. Status protection. Living with HIV is not easy. It is a burden. Taking drugs every day, it's not easy. But HIV came into my body. I did not go to buy it in the shop. So it has to live with my rules. And for me to be healthy, if it comes under my rules, I have to make sure that I live a healthy life. Infecting people is not healthy for me. But me protecting, when I use protection, it is for me to protect myself. I say protection is a two-way traffic. You know yourself. You know the service you have come for. We are all adults and we know the laws very clear. And this is where I'm saying, when in terms of protecting for HIV, everybody has a burden. Everybody has some work to do. So please, let's do this together. All the time we speak about protection, it's not only with people living with HIV. Even with people you have sex, casual sex, people you think you know them better, but you don't know after you have left the room who is there with them. So protection is a two-way traffic. Decriminalization of sex work. We are calling this each and every day. Because the only thing that is making my environment not to be safe, it is the laws that have been kept in place by this government. And to be sincere, they are not really working. Carol?
Your answer to the decree of if the decree is going to solve and response to violence, yes. The legal environment is the fuel. Because every time, even when a sex worker is raped, or a sex worker is being violated, when you go to report to the police station, even the police themselves will tell you, whatever you are doing is illegal. But it is not illegal as per the law. So decriminalizing sex work removes all other stigma, discrimination, all other related violences that come with it. And it also creates a smooth and legal environment where a sex worker is able to access justice smoothly.
Tunaona, tunasikia na tutabonga. The voice.